5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is Deducter bringing you set 4 of Woonjin Star vs. MBCGameHero. Today we have a matchup on New Empire of the Sun, and we have Light as the red Terran playing for Woonjin Stars at the 5 o'clock position, and we have C Shield playing as the purple Terran for MBC Game at the 1 o'clock position. C arguably the best player on MBC Game. Light, certainly a very strong player. They used to be teammates, so this is the former battle of the former teammates here. Two of the best players it used to be on MBC Game, but now they're facing off here as rivals, if you would. Well, I wouldn't say that, maybe not rivals, but certainly facing off. C wanting to demonstrate that he is the better of the two Terrans. Taking a match here, and Light, of course, wanting to win for his new team. And that Korean girl and guy are hiding their faces. It doesn't seem like there's any particular pattern with this. Some like to do it, some don't. Whatever. Free country, right? The camera does seem to linger a bit long on these little snapshots sometimes. Not that there's too much action going on here, so I can't fault them anyway. It's interesting to note that C, for instance, has a 59% win rate overall, 59% against Terran. Dude, he's very strong. Light, on the other hand, has 55% win rate. He's not very good against Protoss. He's only 45 against Protoss, but against Zerg, he's an astonishing 65%. He is one of the best TVZers around, arguably just behind Flash and Fantasy. His versus Terran is 53%, but I think he's certainly fully capable of taking on C Shield here. C has no weaknesses, it appears, in Pro League. He just never makes it far individually. I think he lacks fire, if you would. He lacks either hunger or the imagination to be able to make it far. And he's not that perfect. He almost always goes for some sort of standard textbook type play, and I haven't really seen him innovate to do anything. That's sort of the problem there. He can always do whatever he wants to do pretty damn well. But, you know, there's nothing that I think he is really known for, whether it's Fantasy with his Vultures, or creative whack-out builds, or Lita with his Raves, or Flash. Well, Flash is just good with everything, but on another level. He is capable of doing everything that the aforementioned players are good at, and then more. Whereas C, it just seems like he's sort of the guy who does his homework and gets A's on his tests, but lacks a certain imagination, I feel. And that's sort of his weakness there. Nevertheless, it looks like both players getting their command centers. It looks like 14cc might have went down here for Light. If that were the case, then he would take a slight early economic lead. It doesn't matter too much in TVT. Scouting probe, or rather, SCV coming in here for C. He's not going to see too much. He's going to see this command center. I'm pretty sure that's 14cc based on the timing of the barracks. It looks like here we have a scouting SCV coming here for Light, but it does not seem to accomplish anything. The Marines warding it off there. So both players sort of in a standard position right now. Nothing crazy coming out. Well, we'll see. Maybe one player decide to go for a heavy early Raves, something like that. It is fairly standard these days to get 1 or 2 Raves early on. I always feel that's a pretty good move. The Raves serve almost a bit like Corsairs. They're flexible enough to attack the odd unit here or two, but they can also critically serve as a useful scout and spotter. Almost like Corsairs, it's not quite. I think Corsairs are much more important in PvZ, and Corsairs have the potential to absolutely wreck the Zerg. Even like 5 or 6 Corsairs, if left uncontrolled, can just annihilate Zerg overlords at will, whereas 5 or 6 Raves, they can do the damage to the economy, but they can be warded off fairly easily by just like 2 Goliaths, something like that. Looks like 3 factories going up there for Light, 2 going up for C. Light might be committing to a few more early vultures, perhaps. He's not taking his second gas just yet. C, let's see what both players do on this map. These 2 players being skilled at TVT, it would not be surprising if this game went to sort of a long, drawn-out slugfest, if you would, that these 2 players would start to take bases all over the map, engage in this Terran positioning play, if you would. Looks like this scouting barracks of C's going to be able to float in and see what Light is doing. He might lose his barracks. I mean, 2 Marines picking away at it will take some time to kill, but I don't think he's going to mind too much. The scouting information is much more useful. Some vultures coming out here for Light. Still not taking his second gas. Light is not. C also up to 3 factories. He has 2 machine shops, so he might be going slightly more tank heavy. For now, he's also got an armory down, so he's getting some Goliaths. The barracks of Light getting warded away there by Marines from C, so Light not going to get the equivalent spot with his barracks. Again, I don't think both players will mind too much. Light is trying to sneak a SCV in. He might very well get by here. Oh, but C's forces sees it and snipes it. See, with force of Goliaths and tanks, only vultures out here for Light. He needs mines if he wants to engage this mech army, but he may very well be going for some sort of harass. He's got 5 vultures against 2 tanks. It looks like he's going to be able to kill quite a few SCVs here. But Light deciding not to commit and backs his vultures out, only getting maybe 1 or 2 kills there. I think it may have been better to stick around for a bit more and kill a few more SCVs. Maybe he was too worried about his vultures getting caught there, sandwiched between the forces, and mine has not been upgraded, so he wants the mine certainly for these vultures. He's going to need them if he wants to face this Goliath tank army. Doesn't look like C is pressing ahead. He might be worried about mines. Just now the mines finishing for Light, so C being cautious here. Does not want to run his forces needlessly into mines and suicide them. That would be foolish. C managing to withdraw his barracks in time, so good for him. C again does not really seem to be pressing ahead too strongly. Just vultures is, I think, difficult to deal with. A combination of Goliath and tanks, even with excellent vulture control, I think is difficult. Looks like finally a tank out here for Light. He's going to siege up on this cliff possibly. No, he's choosing to engage with his vultures against this mech force of C's. I don't know how well that's going to work. He's got some mines laid down. That mine kills a tank. Fairly nice job. But both of Light's tanks goes down, and C has taken that battle, I feel, quite well there. He's lost most of his vultures. He only has 1 tank left here. And is C going to press his advantage here? He's got reinforcements coming. Light critically with 2 tanks now. If he can siege up and mine a bit more, I think he'll be fine. C choosing to back off here, having won that battle. A nice victory there, but his forces are heavily damaged, and he does not feel like he can press the attack and achieve anything. Probably a wise move to back off here. Light scouting around with Vulture. He probably just wants to see whether C is putting down any sort of expansion or anything like that. And C responding with his own Vultures. Not quite picking off that vulture. He scans and kills the mine. He's probably going to set up the expansion there very soon. He's got tanks in position to defend. Light, it looks like, is pushing out a bit more, trying to get some position over this cliff here. On this cliff, rather, I should say. Mine's going off. Ooh, doing serious damage to some of C's tanks there. Doesn't want to suffer this type of attrition loss. It's not good for his forces. Hopefully he has the presence of mind to send SCV or 2 over there to repair. Rave or 2 might be coming out here for Light. Well, it's definitely coming out. Let's see how he decides to employ them as a scout, or maybe to pick away a bit at these forward tanks, some of which are probably heavy damage. Oh, good for C there. He's brought SCV out to repair. Exactly what he needs to do. Both players now sieging up in the middle of the map. Looks like the map is fairly evenly divided at this point. third base going down for Light in the 7 o'clock position, and I think a third base going down for C at the 2 o'clock. It's hard to tell on the minimap. He probably has at least an SCV there getting ready to set one up if it's not already building. So, yeah, this looks like it's going to turn into a longer-ish game. C, despite taking an early military advantage, has been unable to exploit that. It wasn't decisive enough advantage. Looks like C is pressing ahead with the bulk of his forces attacking down middle here, doing serious damage to Light's forces. Light with that single Wraith and Vulture picking away here at these tanks. I don't think C is going to be able to make too much progress. That was probably a draw there. C really needs one of his Goliaths here. I know he's built Goliaths. I don't know where it is. That Wraith picking away at the tank there. Fortunately for C, he's got SCV there to repair. If not, that Wraith may have killed one, maybe even two tanks. Looks like Light might be counterattacking a bit here. C also with a Vulture and Mine out, but both players trading blows at the front. Neither player getting any sort of advantage. Goliath warding away the Wraith there. And now the siege lines are again setting stone. Light with a fully mining third base, as C seems to have a few less SCVs there. C also building some Wraiths. So both players looks like going similar routes. C does appear to have more factory. He has 6, it looks like, versus the 4 or 5 of Light's. That's how it appears at this point, but Light surely is going to put down a few more factories very soon. He's also cleverly used an engineering bay to wall off his 7 o'clock position. That's going to stop raiding vultures. I think that is wise. Wise move indeed. Light with some stray tank fire there, taking out the odd force of Caesar 2. He's snuck 2 vultures into C's base here at the 2 o'clock. He's going to be able to kill some SCVs and stop mining for a bit. So good move by Light. C looks like he might be trying to press ahead and trying to get some sort of position over the 7 o'clock base. He's trying to, looks like, just basing on the way he's positioning forces, he's trying to cut off that area from Light. But I think Light should have more than enough to defend this. And I don't think C is going to be able to accomplish his objective. Yeah, Light has additional tanks there. Vulture drop coming for Light. Light has been much more conscientious this game about harassment. Unfortunately, there are 2 Wraiths there to deal with the dropship, and plenty of Vultures and tanks to kill these harassing Vultures, so really the raid not doing much of anything. Nevertheless, I think going out for these harass is a good move. At least it'll force Light to be, C rather, to be a bit more careful and to put down, keep some forces in reserve to defend. Or if alternatively C does not choose to do that, he can punish C for it. And it looks like Light is pushing ahead with some unsieged tanks, trying to break through here at the 2 o'clock base. Lots of mines going off all over the place. Light's tank managing to kill the mines in time, breaking through the defenses. He's got 5 tanks there, heavily damaged. But there are 2 Wraiths for C coming in, and he's going to be able to clean up these tanks, I feel, without too much trouble. A Valkyrie and a Wraith coming out for Light. He's going to deal with this Air Force of C's, it looks like. Light's doing his best to stream Vultures in and using his tanks to do what damage he can. Valkyrie on Wraith action here. Very exciting stuff. C did manage to get enough reinforcement tanks over there, I feel, to hold, and just barely C won. 3 Wraiths against a Wraith and a Valkyrie. It turns out the Wraiths win in this case. Light persisting with this attack. I'm not sure whether that's wise at this point. Losing 2 tanks on the ramp like that. Goliath now out for Light cleaning up the Wraith, and Light unable to make any progress at the 2 o'clock base. He may have killed a few SCVs there, but not any sort of critical damage. Light has taken this opportunity to expand at the natural of the 7 o'clock. Another Valkyrie coming out. Massive tank push coming in for Light here, trying to clean up everything of from C here, rather, against Light's position at the 3 o'clock, cleaning up everything. C securing his base firmly. The only danger for C, of course, is that he needs to protect his new expansion out at the, looks like, 11 o'clock position, and Light has built another command center to flow over to the island in the middle. He knows that he needs SCV to clear, but I don't think you can land it without a dropship. You need to send a dropship to clear out that blockading mineral, because you can't land command centers within certain pixels of the minerals. So I don't know where his dropship is. Unless that type of mineral you can land next to, but I'm pretty sure you can't. Let's see. Yeah, you can. So, but Light has, it looks like, elevated over